all, particularly our communities in the affected areas of Tshwane, to work together with the South African Police Service in bringing the situation back to normality. The situation may be exaggerated by some for their own gain. At this stage, the situation remains under control, and we hope that all of those that came to the CBD to express their grievances will be allowed to proceed to their respective destination without interfering with all other law-abiding citizens of our country. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, General. We'll take more questions. We'll take 3 at a time, as you can identify yourself, and if you can kindly stick to the topic of the day. Could I have a show of hands, please? Yes, I'll take 1, 2, 3.
Commissioner, I don't know if you have the numbers yet, but can you just talk to us about the arrests, how many people have been arrested, and also just talk to us about your preparedness, because suddenly when we went to Asheville this morning, where our camera was confiscated but then managed to hand it back to us, there wasn't great police visibility in the west side of things, and I would think if you had granted permission and all that has happened, you would have anticipated that there would be sporadic incidents of violence. Just how prepared were you? Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, Malungelo from ENCA. Commissioner, in terms of these arrests, did police recover any weapons? In fact, and give us a sense that the people that were arrested were both South Africans and also foreign nationals. Thank you.
PJ Stroud from Reuters. I just also want to know the number of arrests and over which period. I think we could announce it. Just want to confirm the number and the period.
Thank you, General.
Thanks very much. Peter, let me maybe start with your question because it's the easiest one. I have just quoted the numbers over the 24-hour period, 136 people that have been arrested. And maybe quickly to Malungelo, I am unable to confirm with you how many of those that have been arrested are South Africans and how many of them are not South Africans. That information will be processed as we continue to process those that have been arrested. Weapons, I'm not aware specifically of any weapon that was confiscated during this process. SIPO, arrest, I've already spoken to it. Preparedness, we yesterday communicated the statement from the net joins, which suggested that as law enforcement agencies, as the cluster, our plans are in place to manage the situation. But you will know that when this march was planned, it was primarily planned by the people in Mamelodi, the concerned people of Mamelodi. It was never an issue that was going to come from Atteridgeville. Of course, at some point it became clear that you have not only Mamelodi people participating, there were people from Atteridgeville, also from Soshanguve and so on. Just before I came here, I was at Maramastad. Some of the people that were there raising issues are actually coming from around Sunnyside and the CBD. We would have prepared for the march, and that's why we were able to contain the situation in the city. You would have noted that in Atteridgeville, they started much earlier and even disrupting those that would have wanted to come to the march by blocking roads, and taxis were not operating freely in that particular area. But this is the challenge when you deal with an issue that affects not only a single community, but many other communities. And you are, in your plan, anticipating that you will have, some instances where the situation crop up that you left it in the ground. Thanks.
Thank you, General. I'll take another round, starting with Barry, and then I'll take four. There, and there.
Good afternoon, General. Barry Bateman, Eyewitness. I refer to the statement that was issued last night by the NAT joints, and one of the clear messages sent from the SAPS and the authorities was that there will be a zero-tolerance approach to any criminality, and this would be, it simply wouldn't be tolerated. Yet this morning we saw, and you said it yourself, these illegal marchers gathering in Attridgeville, blocking roads, conducting blatantly criminal conduct. These people were then escorted, they started moving on their own, they started moving towards Pretoria CBD. Instead of being stopped, it was the police who escorted them into the CBD, which ultimately they ended up in Rabobank where we had this confrontation. So where in that conduct of the facilitation of the movement from Pretoria West to the CBD is there any, it's clear tolerance of criminal behavior? So please could you explain that from the SAPS's perspective? And the other side, this march, this legal march which was granted, it wasn't a march against crime, it wasn't a march against drugs or prostitution, it was a march against immigrants. That is who we are marching against. It's plainly on the documentation that we distributed. How was this march even granted permission in the first place? Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Just a follow-up, similar to the other area, because we had seen in incidents of looting in Attridgeville and over the weekend in Pretoria West. So it's in that context, why not consider a different time for the march, especially considering that there was already a volatile situation and growing sentiment against foreign nationals?
Thank you. The last question.
Good day, everyone. My name is Johnny Sai. I'm with African News Agency. Just to my comments, like my colleagues, with the context of violence which is happening in the UAE leading up to today, and we have been intervening in different parts of the country where there's been similar or contention. Was not prudent for the SAPS to intervene and even stop the march before it started, because violence was bound to happen with the context that of these things are happening now. Was not prudent for you to intervene and stop the march before it starts? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Questions, General?
Thanks, Johnny. Our Constitution provides for people to express their views. Equally so, the laws provides for people to apply or a protest. Facts before the authorities were considered, and they deemed it fit that with what was at their disposal, that the march is granted. Ours, as the South African Police Service and law enforcement agencies, is to police that march, to make sure that those that are to march are allowed to continue with their day-to-day business. So it is not within the powers of the South African Police Service to stop a march that has been approved, because the authorities would have considered all facts that were placed before them, which resulted in approval being granted. In as far as looting is concerned, looting can never be part and parcel of any approval granted. We continue to say that processes gets hijacked in a way. You find foreign elements in that, while the people may be marching for a certain cause. Some elements go in there with the intention of committing crime. It is for that reason that we will always be there as the South African Police Service to deal with the situation. And the fact that there has been situations, Atteridgeville and Pretoria West, which happened over the past week or so, would have informed the numbers that we have deployed in those particular areas to mitigate whatever challenges we would have been confronted with in that area. Very zero tolerance. Yes, we said we are going to ensure zero tolerance, but when we say that, we can never allow a situation where, as you normally call it, be overhanded. We will manage the situation at hand. We will exercise maximum restraint. We will proportionally use force. There is no way that we would have allowed the group, even if their march was not approved, to move freely on their own. It is our business to channel them to a specific direction as an attempt to try and deal with the situation at hand. In as far as the focus on immigrants,